Aren't we drinking this one? We're drinking this podcast, right?
We are actually, yeah. Hello and welcome to the 64th Planet Destiny podcast, sponsored by Blue Microphones and Headphones. Right out of the gate, there's gonna be there's gonna be a little bit of saltiness and anger, and
there's a lot to be excited about too, though. I mean, we've definitely got some issues, but we've got a lot to be excited about. Can I go through a list of all the stuff we learned this week? This is kind of an abbreviated list, and I'm pulling this right off of This Week at Bungie. They did their live stream. They did their reveal of the things that we could get from the April update. The April update will provide new armor and weapons for your Guardian. Chroma is a new material that enables you to add a luminous glow to your character, which I'm very excited about. That looks really cool. Sterling treasure boxes are a source of new armor, chroma, ships, sparrows, and boosts. You can earn a total of 3 sterling treasure boxes each week. Play 1 weekly Crucible match featured in the Director, emerge triumphant from the level 41 Prison of Elders, or visit a Postmaster in the Tower or the Reef. Are they going to just give you one at the Postmaster each
every
week?
Yep, funny. You just drop in.
The Eververse will be selling Sterling treasure boxes too, along with new emotes for your Guardian. Vault space is being expanded. This one took me by surprise, with 1 additional tab for armor, weapons, and general items. Some popular Year 1 legendary weapons are making a comeback in Year 2. Also not mentioned in this is there's a new HUD off mode, which content creators are really going to love.
Oh yeah.
But there's one big thing. There's one big thing that's really sticking out.
I know what you're going to say, Briar. You're excited that the zombie apocalypse will be offered as well, aren't you?
I am.
That was it, right? That was your big thing. That's my big thing. I mean, I know I want to get that day one.
Rip the zombie apocalypse, man. I'm so excited for that.
Because that's one of the best heavy machine guns from Year 1. I mean, if you had the God roll...
I still have mine.
And I'll have lots of chances to get it because I'm going to buy lots of boons from Sterling treasure boxes, so I have more chances to upgrade the Vanguard and Crucible vendors, so I get more drops on weapons.
That's some MLG strats right there.
So here's the big issue. These Sterling treasure boxes that are rewarded from Prison of Elders, logging in, and then the weekly Crucible thing. So you can get 3 per week, normally playing. You can also buy these treasure boxes, and inside them they contain chromas, purely cosmetic, the Taken gear, the Desolation set, I can't remember the other set.
Spectre?
There we go, the Spectre set. That's also going to be in there. Aside from all that, the ships, the cosmetic stuff, there is, for me personally, this is the first time that we are actually seeing a pay-to-win type mechanic in there. There is a reputation boost for Vanguard and Crucible that we saw on the live stream. That reputation boost will allow you to rank up your factions quicker, aka get in-game gear. So,
namely weapons
and armor. This is just a small thing, but it's steadily been kind of building up to this right now. And here we are. Welcome, guys.
It's knocking on the door and its foot's in already. Again, nothing that drops will directly put you to 335, but it is the fact that there's a booster in there that is going to increase your rep gains, or a chance of a booster to drop that'll increase your rep gains, that'll help you get end gear game quicker than somebody who does not choose to spend money and get those rep gains. And that honestly is
you're also getting
the blurry
rolls.
line.
You're also getting
those
rolls
too,
right? Like now you can just keep sucking money in, playing the game, getting that reputation, and just keep going after those shadow price rolls. By paying, you're going to get more chances to see shadow price rolls.
Yeah, it's just enough of a window of opportunity right there to say, guess what? You can pay extra money in the game to get ahead of the other people if you're committed. And it's a slippery slope right there. Like, it's one more step to just have weapons drop in those packages.
Yep. Some people in chat are saying, and it's even more so because when you dismantle it, it becomes legendary marks. But that's not the case. It dismantles into chroma.
Are we sure? What if you
dismantle
a shadow price?
No, for the gear that you can get from those packages.
Right.
True, it's
Well,
true. But for the
Well,
direct
yeah.
gear that you do get from the packages, it turns into chromas. It's kind of
See,
freemium.
that's the thing.
Kind of freemium.
Like right now, if it was just going to be this state, this how it is right now, there would be nothing to be worried about because this would be the limit. Like this is the absolute limit of where pay to win light becomes like, okay, yeah, it's all right, but it's getting pretty close because we know it's Activision. We know what happens after pay to win light. It's like it's the gateway into what's happening with Black Ops 3 with these weapons that only drop from the black market that have an insanely low rate of drop rates. Like people have spent $500 and only gotten one of the weapons that drop out of those packages. So same publishing company is obviously telling Bungie, hey, we can make a lot of money doing this, and it's scary.
Some people will buy it. Some people won't. It's you don't have to do it, but
well, then that's ultimately the problem. Is that if I'm Joe, PvE guy who loves to go out and grind the game and play the loot-based game and go out and get the cool stuff because I play the game and I do the raids and I do this and I that and I do Prison of Elders, and I've earned that piece of armor, and I go back to the tower, and some schmuck who just flew into the tower, never played a level of PvP, Prison of Elders, never did a challenge mode, never did any of it, just flies in, goes over to test Eververse, buys a bunch of Sterling packages, and an hour later, because that kid's got tons of disposable income, buys and gets a full set of armor, and I'm who's the schmuck now? Who's the guy who just spent 6 hours grinding Prison of Elders to get a pair of pants and some gloves that are
But you know what hurts Pope too is that this is without a doubt the coolest looking armor I've ever seen in this game. Ultimately, I think it's probably going to lessen the longevity of the gameplay experience too, because without that Spectre armor to go out and grind for, if you can just buy it in the tower, it lessens its value. First of all, because what's the point of going out and grinding for 100 hours if I could just spend $20 and get it all? And everybody's got it because everybody paid for it. It's like the whole experience gets cheapened because you can just pay for it.
You throw a lobster in a pot that's boiling and it will jump right out. You can't cook a lobster that way. But if you put a lobster in cold water and slowly turn up the heat, it doesn't realize that it's getting so hot that the lobster just gets so weak.
Real talk. That's why you use a larger pot so it can't jump out. But I hear you.
You must not have jumping lobsters like we got, man.
Real fishermen.
These things can hop. They got mad ups.
The West Coast lobsters don't have any claws, so they have a huge ass tail. So if you drop them in hot water, you're gonna get hot water splashed everywhere, and they come straight out of the pot. So, lesson to you there. You East Coasters got it easy. I want to be able to sit back, take a look at the perspectives of everybody who's going to be approaching this in the community, and say if you're a PvP player, does it really matter what armor? If it's talking about armor right now, does it really matter? But if we're talking about guns, it will matter to a PvP person, right?
So actually, here's a question, and I'm not sure about this. Some people are talking about how when you infuse, the stats also transfer over from the high level item. Is that correct? We do have to look at it from both sides as well, because most MMOs, and I know that the concept of MMO is a MMO light that a lot of people like to call it, but Bungie refuses to call it an MMO. Most of them have these type of models, or at least cosmetics, and then they brush up against things that most likely affect your end game. And same thing that's happening with Call of Duty. That's not an MMO, obviously, but Call of Duty has fully embraced it, and there's no end in sight for it. So on one end, I think we do have to consider the fact that maybe there is a section of the population that greatly prefers this, and we don't hear their voice. And maybe that's not totally bad. It's like it's the truth is somewhere in between, like it's a gray area. In other words, I personally don't like the fact that I could go, spend a bunch of money, empty my bank account on rolls, and then have min max my character. I think that's not a fun way to play the game, but some people might actually really enjoy that.
I'm waiting to see that first YouTube video of unboxing $500 worth of Eververse packages.
But at the same time, is that putting a section of people into a bucket that in an unfair way? It gets philosophical at that point, but because I wouldn't pay that kind of money. But then again, people want to go buy ridiculously expensive sports cars.
Can we talk about stuff we're excited about?
All right,
Yes.
let's talk about something
All
else.
right. Chroma,
All right.
how sweet did that stuff look? Weapons
Freaking
and armor.
cool, dude.
Who's going to be the first one to make a red, white, and blue Titan? And yell America every time they do a Titan smash.
Oh, that's good.
Well, you
That's
fly with your Twilight Garrison.
Am I the only
Freedom.
one that pointed out that recognized right away that those are some primary colors? Are we going to be able to do some mixing?
That's
Are we gonna be
what
able-
I was thinking too.
Yeah?
It's like it.
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
you got red, yellow, blue. A basic color theory says you can make anything from that. We're good.
So like
just add
maybe
black.
there's a crafting station.
add, and we got Wild Ridge. Add black, and then we can do anything. We can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
The Taken weapons with the chroma, with that graffiti on them, looked really nice. Like,
Yes.
it totally changed the look of the weapon.
Absolutely excited about some of the year one weapons coming back. I know I've been trolling.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trolling Patrick all week since the reveal about his zombie apocalypse, but I am really excited about like some of the year one weapons. And I was thinking that I'd throw this out to you guys. Assuming that we didn't get a full list of year one weapons, what weapon, if you had to choose a year one weapon that maybe wasn't listed, or maybe it was, but which one are you most excited to come back? What would you choose?
Devil,
The devil you
Devil
know?
you know is in there.
Yeah,
Devil
I
You
know.
is
I
in
know.
there.
I know it's in there.
All right,
Which is
so
why
but
I'm
that's the one
excited.
you're more excited about? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about you guys?
I
Rainbow
agree with Patrick.
synthesis.
Devil you know was like my Nightfall go-to hand cannon for. It had to be 3 or 4 months. I mean, it was just my bae.
It
Okay.
was the like baseline best hand cannon out there in my opinion, and hopefully when the sandbox update, when we see what the sandbox update has, maybe there's some changes to hand cannons, like they fix the accuracy problems with them, so then my devil you know will be the year one devil you know that I loved and remembered so much.
Yeah.
Those perks though are going to be hard to get back.
Oh, I'll get them
Yeah, that's the thing.
back. I'll get them back.
Yeah, you just have to like get them multiple times in your RNG.
Yeah,
will
I'll
have to
I'll
predict
just spend a
something.
crap ton of money on reputation boosts.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
no big
just
deal.
get them
Boom,
back
there
that
you go.
way. Yeah.
Easy. Easy does. I'm super excited about getting another Dankbo synthesis. I love the one I have on the PS4, and I'd love to have a year 2 one that
Oh,
has
dude.
sick rolls.
The
you know?
longbow synthesis, bro. That is like
It's my
okay.
fave.
So if I was to look at legendary sniper rifles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Praetor's Revenge, even though it's not
The scout rifle.
It is
Well,
a scout rifle. It is a scout
essentially,
rifle.
since even though it's not like a snipe through a revive, it still remains my favorite sniper rifle.
First sniper love of Destiny.
Just beautiful sniper. Okay,
Yeah.
after that, her benevolence.
Mm-hmm.
Then my longbow synthesis, then the LDR, then the 1,000-yard stare, like in that order. Those are my favorites. But if I can get a longbow with a good roll on it, or her benevolence,
baby.
What are you saying if you can
for Fury?
get a? What are you saying if you can get one with
well,
a good roll on it?
win. I mean,
There you
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
It'll be nice to see different weapon types. You know, we usually don't have a whole lot of that high impact type of sniper in the game at the same time. Usually we got 1 or 2 of
Exactly.
them max. Now we know we got 3. We got her Fury, longbow, and LDR. So like we know we got at least 3 we could go
Yeah.
after.
That's going to be awesome. Also, we should clarify that Bungie clarified it that they are only dropping from the faction packages, right?
Yeah,
Vanguard
no,
and-
not faction packages, just from Crucible and
Crucible
Oh, that's.
and
I'm sorry.
Vanguard.
That's what I mean.
Crucible and
Vanguard and
Vanguard.
Crucible packages.
So
That's the only way you can get these year
grind
ones.
out the strike playlist, right?
They said they are upping the amount of rep that you gain from Crucible And
did they use dramatically?
Dramatically,
They said
as they said
I
dramatically.
believe it was
dramatically.
dramatically,
They
but
said dramatically.
I'm so gonna
0.04%.
yeah, at least 1 whole percent. If it's 1 whole percent, that's dramatic. And
Dramatic.
from what we've seen from
I
Bungie,
mean, from a case
so-
study
thus
of
far.
2,000 reports, that's a big increase.
I'd rather it just be sprinkling. Like I get the end of a boss fight and think like
It looks like the loot
Borderlands,
cave up in
where
here.
all of a sudden just blah,
Loot explosion. You want loot explosions.
engrams
Yes.
everywhere.
Like, you don't sit at a casino and pull the slot machine because, it's boring seeing the things go. Like, that's what's fun about it, is to see the actual numbers pop up. They need more of the numbers. We just want more of it.
So when you guys are talking about exotics, the exotics that are currently in the armory that are not in the actual game, like Shinobu's Vow.
We've been known about this since Taken King dropped, and here it is 6 months later. They got to drop this stuff. We need these exotics.
I
We
agree
need 'em.
that we need them, but in my gut is that they're going to save something as awesome as new exotics to a PR release of a new paid DLC. Anyway,
Let's move on
let's
from
move
that.
on.
Yeah.
Bungie, if you're listening, bring those exotics in.
There's a new Taken ship, which also looks pretty good.
It's a taken version of the Year 1 Queen ship, or the Vault of Glass ship, or the Crota's or the Crota's End ship. It's same basic model. It's a
But whatever, it
It's been
looks
dipped.
good.
It's been dipped in the Taken sauce, ready to take a bite. You know?
It's been taken a
Story Machine said it looks like it's got a supernova on the front of it.
yeah. That thing was bright. That thing was bright.
The vault was increased to 3 pages per weapon or per item type. Hell, yes.
Let me before we go on to that one, let me ask a hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
If
No.
Okay, so Holtzman does not want to be able to apply chroma or a shader to his ships. If
I do.
you do, okay, you said no.
I was just saying no. You can't ask the question,
Oh,
but you
okay,
kept
I'm
asking
sorry.
it anyway. It's fine.
Hypothetically,
buy
if we're
weapons
moving
from
that
Tess.
direction and we're getting ships dipped in Taken, wouldn't it
Taken sauce.
Taken sauce? Wouldn't it make sense to then maybe on the next expansion or something we're applying the same sort of thing where we can? I'd love to be able to apply like chroma or something like that to one of our ships, and like that Iron Banner ship that
Be
people
awesome.
don't have yet. Still, I'd love to just
Shut
be
up.
able to apply like a chroma or accent to it to make it cooler.
I think that'd be great. I'd love to apply the chroma stuff to the ships. I'd love customization in general. I think the idea of using the primary colors and maybe going to some sort of paint station in the tower to mix colors would be phenomenal. I love that idea.
What's the,
Dude,
what's
there's
her
gonna be
name?
right
There's
next to the
already
barber.
the station there. There's
Yeah.
already the station there by the gunsmith. There's a little machine that's like doing a bunch of stuff and building things. You could just replace the gun parts with paint buckets. There you go, done.
It's
Love it.
It's the
I wanna
it's
do
the
that.
chick down by the speaker. She could actually be doing
Oh, yeah,
something
she could-
now.
yeah,
Ava
she-
Levante?
Ava
Yeah.
Levante instead.
Yeah,
instead of
you go
just-
down there and you say, hey, she goes, "What can I help you with, Guardian?" And then you're like, I wanna mix these colors." And then she goes,
Yo.
"I'll help you with that." And then she puts the milk. She brings all the colors to the yard and she's like shaking them, right?
Wow.
You see
Awesome.
where I'm
Go.
going with this, right?
I see it,
Yeah.
man.
Right. And
I
then
want,
you can
I
produce
want
a
Twitch
color
purple.
wheel, and then when she's done, she spray like the colors your gun. I don't know, or she sprays you down like a tan.
So I have been heartlessly deleting like Vault of Glass armor and old President Elder stuff and Crota's End gear. Finally, that pain can stop. I didn't know what I was going to do with all the new stuff that was coming with this update. But I was honestly shocked when they said more vault space. Like, I had no idea that was coming. I didn't think that was in the cards at all because of the Xbox 360 and PS3's memory limitations. That was a
Yeah.
really nice surprise.
Well, hold up. Sorry. Okay. Are the last gen vault spaces different from current gen? And is that going to last gen?
I don't know. They didn't say
Because-
it was going to just current gen.
I was actually talking to Blue about this, Blue Westlow, and he said that there was, when Taken King came out, there was a description that when you brought your character over from last gen to current gen, and hopefully you guys know for sure about this because I'd love to have for sure confirmation. But when you bring it over from last gen to current gen, it makes a copy of your character, and things that you do on current gen now do not reflect back to your last gen character.
I do not know. I do not know anything about that.
Yeah, the problem is that we all play on current gen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that their next expansion, their next big thing, like whatever Destiny 2 is, or next, the next full version of this, is going to have to accommodate some sort of last gen to next gen character transition that we, it needs to be brought back, because I have a feeling that it's not going to be like a whole new world. It's going to be an expansion to this current world. I think we've seen other MMOs that have that same example, right, Patrick?
So yeah, Chris was saying that it's true. As of now, whatever you do earn on your current gen does not reflect on your past gen character. So your past gen character will be how it was when you left for the current gen.
So it's like having two separate characters, but you can still play them both?
You can still play them both, but your current gen progress is not reflected on last gen. Yeah, so like you were saying about the memory limits and the problems that they have, like that's why I actually think that things like maybe even custom games aren't even talked about, because they can't actually support it on last gen, because they have literally maxed out all the memory limits for the directory and all that. So they can't have another directory option with the options to customize and all that.
Big hopes for Destiny 2. Big hopes.
Big hopes.
We already talked about getting old weapons back. I'm really excited about it, though. Shadow Price, Badger CCL, Lord Hyde Fixer, To the Morgue, LDR. They changed that, though. They initially said they can be acquired through legendary engrams, which was really exciting, but now, as we've discussed...
Redacted.
Yeah, redacted. Which is funny. That's the second time they've had to do that in the weekly update.
Yeah.
Not to derail the conversation, we'll get back to this in a second, but did you guys get that Godroll Arminius this week? Did you?
I didn't buy the thing.
No,
saw
Pope. You didn't get it, did you? Am I the only one of us that actually got the Arminius this week? The rank 3 one is the rank 3 role is crowd control, counterbalance, brace frame.
Now the only thing that would be
really
perfect.
good.
See, I don't consider that the God roll.
Okay.
The God roll would be persistence on it.
Persistence.
Yeah. Because the persistence is persistence. So when the Arminius D fires, it does, no matter what, all Hawkeye auto rifles do this. So it will always do a square. And it's not necessarily the gun pattern. The bullets will always be on point, but for some reason the animation of it is always the iron sights on it. The sight line, they always kicks, even though the bullets are going straight. So you can have all these stability perks on it, but they don't affect really the animation. It always feels like the gun is going like this, even though the bullets are flying straight. So if you put on,
but that roll isn't possible, Pope. On the
is it impossible?
It's not possible on the Arminius, because
passion.
counterbalance and persistence occupy the same perk slot.
Well, that explains it.
It's only
because
on
I
the
kept
doctor.
looking for it. That's why I kept holding it. I got one with persistence on it. It was like a few
last week was last week,
and I was like, oh, it's so close, but it holds the same spot.
It's not going to work. Yep, holds the same spot.
That's why the Doctrine will always be better.
That's why you will like Doctrine better, and crowd control.
And that gun will be useless in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Infusement, you know?
Yeah.
And also, if they don't...
Do you think you'll be able to infuse Taken King weapons up?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I'm gonna say yeah. I bet you will be able to.
Oh, definitely. Here's why. This is not a reset. It's only 15 light level bump. So this is essentially like going from Dark Below to House of Wolves, which you could bring Dark Below stuff up. Actually bring Year 1 stuff up,
All right.
If it was a complete rebalance, then yeah. Like it would be tossed.
If you want to get a Mago loop that'll move forward, you're saying go farm it on the Nightfall right now.
So here's the question. Do you guys think that strike-specific loot is going to completely rotate, like all of them, or is the Mago loop still going to be available afterwards?
I think it'll still be available.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
So back to the sandbox stuff. What else do you think is coming, guys? What changes? What changes?
Custom
any
matches.
changes to?
I'm
Do you
joking,
guys want to
joking.
see the pulse rifles, the high impact pulse rifles, see return? Or are you okay with them
God,
being
yes.
left behind?
I've kept on to my God roll, Yudmila, just for that. If they ever
What do you want to
decide
see happen to it?
the damage needs to be brought back up.
So you want to see it come back to that like insane time to kill that it had?
Yeah, essentially. My main reason is right now pretty much all the pulse rifles exist in this spot where the highest rate of fire and the lowest rate of fire can all technically kill in like the same amount of bursts, more or less. But in terms of practicality, the higher rate of fire ones will always win because they fire their shots faster. And like, yes, the current Leonilla can two shot. Okay, if it can two burst someone to the head, but
It's not gonna happen.
with the amount of kick that it has, and just the recoil in general, it's not possible. It's not practical at all unless you're in shotgun range. Which, why are you using the Leonilla in shotgun range, trying to get off two bursts? It's too
The
slow.
problem here, though, is that time to kill becomes so fast when you can two burst opponents.
Yes, it does. I think there's a balance in between what we had and what we have now. There's
But
still
how
a
do you do
balance.
that? Because it seems to me the only way to balance that without, like, because you got to keep the stability high enough that it's actually accurate enough to achieve anything. So the only thing you can adjust there, if you want to keep it at two bursts, is the length of time between the pulses. That's the only way you can adjust time to kill on that. That weapon to me, like that weapon archetype, is the hardest one to balance because it's like an on-off switch, whether it's overpowered or underpowered.
Well, right now I can tell you there's zero reason to use it. It's very
But
much underpowered.
if you make a reason to use it, all of a sudden it becomes the most powerful weapon in the game. The playing field is leveling out. It's not as bad as it has been in the past. It's not just one weapon that's completely dominant for all situations. It's leveling out. They're getting it.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about year one, the 2-tap Thorn was God.
Yep.
It was like 2-tap Thorn, and then you had some options underneath it. This right now, it's like Doctor. You got the Doctrine. You got Last Word. You've got Might Multi-Tool. They're very different archetypes of weapons that are very viable in the Crucible right now. So they're definitely going that way. Yeah. More options.
And then, like, under that tier, you got a tier that is just nipping at its heels.
Monte Carlo is a perfect example. Like,
Yep.
It works. It really does. But it's A plus instead of S tier. And
if in a fair gunfight against like a Mida or a Doctrine, you're just gonna lose. That's the problem, right? It's like all things being equal, it just loses that fight. Do you guys want to talk about all the new exotics or all the old exotics that are coming back? I can just do a quick list off.
Go a quick list. Do a quick list.
Dreg's
off.
Promise, woohoo! Sunbreakers, the Glass House, Kepri Spring, ACD Zero Feedback Fence, ATS 8 Arachnid, Lord of Wolves, Lucky Raspberry, boo, Universal Remote, Eternal Warrior, Patience in Time, Purifier Robes, Queensbreaker Bow, woohoo, and that's it.
Patience and time.
Yeah, Patience in Time.
Patience
I'm really
in
excited
time,
about
baby.
the Queensbreaker Bow, the Dreg's Promise, and the Lord of Wolves, because those weapons just weren't around for long enough,
You guys see the changes on Queenbreakers?
Yeah,
stat changes?
we saw the stat changes.
Yeah, the stat changes are very different.
My thought is that those stat changes are in year one. I think it looked more like a sniper rifle. The stat bars, and then in this year 2 one, those stat bars look more along in the lines of a fusion rifle.
Yeah, like
kind
a
of.
high impact fusion.
Like a high impact fusion. So I
Yeah.
think we're just seeing that fruit space thing that we were talking about last podcast. We're just seeing them change what the bars look like to a fusion rifles.
That makes sense, but keep it as like a fusion sniper.
Yeah, still going to perform exactly the same, I imagine. But
I hope that most of these exotics get redone. Like there's some sort of changes, some sort of uniqueness to them. It doesn't have to be full-on new exotic material, but at least something that is different like they did with most of the exotics, bringing them to year 2, so we can have some new interesting options for them.
Yeah, small adjustments. Like Eternal Warrior, there was no reason to use that in year 1. I never found one anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a reason to use it,
So along the lines of the sandbox, do you think fusion rifles are once again going to get nerfed.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's a universal constant. Death, taxes, Pope's RNG, fusion rifles nerfed with every patch.
Fusion rifle nerfs.
But
yeah.
they'll tell us next week that they're getting a huge buff, but they're still going to get a nerf.
Yeah, the cone is going to be. It's going to take up the entire screen.
Right. It's going to be.
The impact is going to go up. They're just going
to be a stick that comes out, and then a little unraveled flag that says boom.
Stand about 20 feet back from a wall with a shotgun and fire it. That's the spread at point blank range with the fusion rifle. So
exactly,
it's not. Yeah, there we go.
They're not usable. I mean, you can use a Plan C. You can use a Thesan, but it doesn't feel. Don't you think that they could add consistency? They could put that cone back to what it used to be, but just pull back on the range so you can't get those cross map kills with it. But when you are in the kill range for the weapon, it gets the kill if you hit the shot. That's what I'd like to see out of that.
So it's like a charge up shotgun essentially.
Yeah, with more range than a shotgun though.
Yeah.
More range,
exactly.
but not sniper rifle range. Not Fellwinter's Lie range.
Yeah, it needs to live in a space in between shotguns and snipers.
Yeah.
And right now, it's just doo-doo, aside from a few fringe cases, and also aside from people wanting to prove a point. If you have to follow up 90% of the time with a primary shot, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I agree.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Snipers, any changes to snipers? Pretty good where they are?
I feel like they're okay where they are. Like
I use snipers all the time. I use snipers all the time, and I am going to be the one that tells you that there's no way in God's green earth that you should be aimed down sight, getting shot by somebody, in which
Might a multi-tool.
by like getting damaged. You're they're shooting you, and you have it unscoped at any time during that.
Or that your aim just automatically locks onto their head and boom, headshot.
If you're getting
the number of times
shot,
that's happened today, or that's the number of times that's happened this week with Iron Banner, I'm tinking somebody with a mighty multi-tool and they just like 1,000-yard stare. I'm like, come on.
Say for example, if they were to correct it, body shots, if you had unflinching on, body shots would keep you scoped in. But any headshot would unscope you.
That'd be awesome.
Right?
I'm okay with that.
I mean, that's a
good.
balance of sniper rifles that I think is relevant. Your sniper rifle person should be about positioning, timing, predicting where people are going to be. I mean, those are the characteristics of a sniper. If you are in the middle of a gun battle fighting somebody that's shooting at you, you shouldn't be able to scope in or stay scoped. That's just not something that... So if there is a fix to sniper rifles, that's what I suggest.
Yeah.
I'd be on board with that change.
I'm cool with it.
You should not be able to be receiving damage from behind, spin around, scope in, and get a headshot.
Agreed.
My favorite thing is watching KJ Hovey, and sometimes he'll just land like a ridiculous snipe, and he'll just be like, "No, Bungie, no, that shouldn't have happened. No." I love seeing that because I've had that exact same thing happen to me too, where you just land a shot. You're like, wait. I'm happy he's dead.
You can see that your aiming reticle was not on that.
I was like, my reticle was like off in the it was off in the Ozarks, and it's okay.
If someone's hitting crits on you and you're scoped in, nah.
Yeah, and I've seen it where I'm getting shot by Mida, and my reticle pops up and directly lands right on the head, and boom, headshot.
People get so mad about hard scopers. I love to see them because you just walk up next to them and they're still aiming down that lane, and you're like,
my point is that there's pros and cons. If you aren't proactively engaging through a sniper lane with countermeasures, it's your fault that you just got domed. It's not the fault of the guy that's hard scoped in it. It's your fault for not knowing the map. I don't get mad at shotgunners because I run into a close quarters combat zone and I don't check my corners.
Yeah. The only time I get salty over shotguns is lag. Or latency is involved.
Rockets? How you guys feel about rockets?
Oh God. Awful. The number of times I get like 130 damage on somebody.
So
Are you talking about Truth as your rocket?
No.
Or just okay.
I don't use Truth because I'm too lazy.
Okay.
I am. I'm also too lazy to exploit the special ammo. So I'm not going to switch to Icebreaker Sidearm. So when it comes to Truth, I never use Truth. I'm talking about just basic rockets, like the Suros, the JBL one. That thing is garbage.
Oh, did I tell you guys about the God roll that I actually got on a rocket launcher? Yeah. I can't get God rolls on the things that I want, but I can sure as shit get God rolls on like scout rifles and apparently rocket launchers. Tripod, Field Scout, Clown cartridge on an ash factory. Holds 7 rounds, and I reload after every shot because then I might get a free round.
Free ones,
so that's a PvE rocket launcher.
Oh, it's totally a PvE. It's arc damage. I was using it during the strike today. I was consistently, if I had like a full mag or a full reserve ammo of it, I was getting about 10 rockets per magazine.
How about the subclasses? We talked a little bit about Sunsingers. What do you guys want to see done to the subclasses? I mean, we're getting this big PvP revealed next week, or hopefully it's a PvP.
Sandbox PvP, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see #bring the hammers back. Sunsingers are completely fucking useless.
But
Sunbreakers, sorry.
Not like full on Sunbreaker. But
I mean,
instead of them barely being able to build a railroad, they can actually, build a railroad and do some work.
They need to get a guaranteed kill when I hit somebody with a hammer.
I agree. There's so many times where I see a Sunbreaker and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just challenge this guy because I can probably do it. I have no fear for The only thing that scares me is the charge. So they do need to fix that.
Yeah, they need to make those hammers actually kill. I would also like to see. I'd like to either see better tracking on them, or I'd like to see the blast radius get bigger.
Or like fixing
one
the proximity
or the other.
like fixing the proximity to det, so it will actually detonate in an area where it will kill the person. So yeah, probably just raising the blast radius some.
Do we want to talk about anything else, or do we want to do Twitter questions?
I think we could move to Twitter questions right now, but before we do, let's talk about Blue microphones. No doubt you've noticed these wild mics and headphones that we are using, and they're just some of the iconic gear that Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians and internet creators and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. I know we all at some point in time use the Blue Yeti. I still do for my Twitch streams. Their Yeti USB mic is the internet's most popular microphone, and their MoFi and Lola headphones delivered insane sound and a very personalized fit. You can find more about them at bluemic.com.
Real quick, I got one thing I want to say about the MoFis that I discovered this week is I've had a problem with the Xbox controller, the audio port coming out of the Xbox controller being at a very low volume. Because the MoFi is amplified, solves the problem.
It actually amplifies the analog audio, and it sounds...
Yeah, there's a battery in the headphone, and it actually amplifies the volume.
20, a lot of microphones or preamplifiers have a 20 decibel pad to drop it from 20 dB because of drums, because drums have very high percussives. So it's like the opposite. It's like you can give a 20 decibel boost on your headphones. It's pretty
Brian,
awesome.
just do this.
I'm sure that some of these we've talked about, but I'll read them, and if we talked about it, we'll just gloss over them. Abysswalker Sif at Kyle Thompson 43 hopes for next week's Sandbox update stream. Besides a Thorn change, he says.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
All the changes we just talked about.
There you go.
I feel like we talked about all that, so we actually should talk about Thorn. And
No, we're not talking about Thorn. First podcast.
What if they bring it back?
Just go. No, shut up. Next question. We're not talking about Thorn. One podcast.
One quick thing is, last time they did a PvP stream, they had Triple Rec and they announced Trials of Osiris. Because they're doing a whole stream devoted to PvP in the Sandbox, do you think the whole stream's going to be about what the changes are? Or do you think they've got something up their sleeves PvP game mode wise?
But I feel like they're going to drop some sort of new game mode that they've been cooking. Or something that we didn't bring up is the possibility of updating the gear that drops from Trials of Osiris.
I imagine they'll update the gear.
Yeah, it'll be a slightly different gold color.
I would love to see. I mean, this is far
you can put
fetched,
chroma
but I
on
would
it.
love to see another PvP game mode.
Me too.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, you know how they announced Rift? Something like that. That would be, team-based, objective. Like, I don't know. Involving swords.
TH Connor at TH Connor.
I know that guy.
Yo.
I know that guy. Everybody loves that guy. How do you guys feel about the April update not having a single new exotic? I think it's Pope's fault. Alpha Jamie at Alpha Jamie. Is there any of the returning exotic guns or armor that you are really looking forward to?
Kind of covered that, right?
I am super excited for the Glass House.
Yeah, Drake's Promise, Universal Remote. I like the guns that give me like options and loadouts, and I like that. Dave Collier at CollierDave78. What sights are best for sidearms? Stat-wise, I can't see a difference. So I pulled this actually question out because I didn't know how to answer it. So I was wondering if anybody did.
Yeah. They have the same sights as hand cannons. So
Do they have the same effect?
mostly, yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing you have to take into account is that sidearms have a pretty high base aim assist already. So much so that I think their aim assist, their aim assist is like different than other weapons as well. It doesn't matter as much. Recoil patterns do slightly change based upon which sight that you have. I prefer Sure Shot because it's fair. It's a really just good, well-rounded sight. The other one that people really gravitate towards is True Sight, because that does up the target acquisition. Like, you're going to stick on someone a lot easier with that, and like pairing that with Zen Moment and a True Sight are two really good perks to have on a sidearm, because it'll allow you to, you kind of stick on them easier, and you hit your Zen Moment shots, and it'll boom way more stability.
Nice.
Was there another one where he wanted to know what perks to go on a sidearm? Or
No,
was it just
but
the sights?
might as well answer that.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Generally on a sidearm, you only need one range perk to get the range to kind of maximum. So a really good one is rangefinder, because you're going to be aiming down sights pretty much all the time with it. In the like big column of perks, personally, I like quick draw. There is a noticeable difference of about five-ish frames, and then quick draw also does make your aim down sight time quicker as well. It affects it not as much as snapshot, but it does affect it nonetheless. So getting like rangefinder and then outlaw is really good, because it's pretty easy to land headshots with a sidearm. That'll make your reload time a lot quicker. So like my ideal role would be rangefinder, outlaw, and then quick draw on a sidearm, because that'll give me my max range, that'll give me my max equip speeds, and then that'll give me my max reloads. So that's generally what I would gravitate towards. However, just go pick up the Crucible Havoc Pigeon right now. Crowd control, crowd control to up the damage some, feeding frenzy to help out the reload speed, and then it does have quick draw, or you can go for Hammer Forge to increase the range. Play around with it, see what you like. There you go.
Do you find crowd control helpful in PvP with the sidearm?
Yes.
Are you often
Yeah.
getting double kills with that?
Yeah.
So, Tefty, I have a question for you.
Yeah. of
Can
course.
you please help me in explaining what a boner spider is?
Oh, can we not? Can we not?
I'm curious about this. The chat is talking to me saying, Pope, you need to find out Tefty's view on boner spiders, and I'm like,
There's
man.
there's
This
an
is-
actual spider in Brazil that
this is for
when
Tefty, okay?
Yeah,
fine.
this happened in chat. We got on a tangent about nature, and nature, as you know, has some really amazing and weird stuff. The truth is stranger than fiction, and it's always the case with nature. And there, like you said, we've got on the topic of weird things that actually exist, like coconut crabs. Coconut crabs are terrifying looking, and they crack coconuts. And also, there's a spider in Brazil that gives you a 4-hour erection, and it's painful and can kill you if you get bit by it.
And
No joke. It's the boner spider.
And it's not being sold by like Pfizer as like the next Viagra or something.
That's what popped in my head too. I was like, I wonder if big medical companies are harnessing the boner spider. Like tapping into its nectar.
Is it? Does
and
it have
delivering the
does
boner
it have
spider
a
into a pill
venom
form.
That's like a vasodilator or something.
That's the term I am unaware of.
That's the active.
Makes your veins larger.
You know a lot about this Cialis stuff, don't you?
That is the boner ingredient, Pope? That's what that is?
What 40-year-old man doesn't? No, vasodilator is essentially the main drug. What it's happening in like Viagra or Cialis.
Improves blood flow.
Okay, this is crazy.
Okay.
The spider apparently lays eggs on bananas.
Which spider?
The boner spider.
The boner spider.
Now we know why there's so many monkeys in the jungle.
I'm sorry, but you should be terrified of the fact that there may be a boner spider in your banana. That came out wrong.
Rip bananas.
The spider might jump out, take a nibble on your skin. I definitely do not want a painful erection.
I just want to know what the next Twitter question is.
By the way, if you Google boner spider, they are terrifying looking. Okay, let's go on. Next, I don't know if it's actually boner spider. It might be Brazilian something or another.
It says Brazilian. I Googled boner spider, and first result is actually the Brazilian wandering spider.
Kenneth Krieger at Cloak of Feather. Can Sterling gear be dismantled for legendary marks? If yes, your thoughts.
No,
it cannot.
No. For the
but
chroma,
you can buy,
like
like we discussed earlier, you can buy the boons to get gear faster that can be dismantled for legendary marks. Ruck at Big Daddy Dirk got another one in here. What gun will be at Pope Bear's newest god roll?
Her Fury. Oh, didn't somebody make a? I think it was Fight Cat made a Her Pope username on PSN.
Really?
He's already leveled it up to like. Yeah, Fight Cat got very far on it already,
Nice.
leveling that character up. So
I'm pretty excited about that. Which one am I gonna get first? I'm most interested in getting the zombie apocalypse. Really, to be honest with you, just getting a really good roll of that.
We should let that one sit and maybe talk about it a little bit later. Christopher
I'm
T
content.
at
I'm
Christopher.
content with my vanilla dark sorry, zombie apocalypse. Go for it.
Christopher T at Christopher T. There are still 6 exotics not being brought forward. 3 of them for good reasons. Still missing Vex, Necro, and PE. Thoughts?
I've got the Doctrine of Passing. I don't need the Necrochasm, but I do.
Oh no, you need the necrochasm. Trust me, you need it.
All right.
Faster time to kill, and also explosions.
Explosions.
They're all explosions.
Explosions.
Like
if
you-
we got
you
the
like
Dark Below
explosions.
updated, I would want explosions back again.
wow, it's satisfying. So I would love to use it in Iron Banner and also Trials of Osiris.
Yeah.
Also PVE. It'd be great to have it throw all explosions in PVE.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But I'm most interested in getting the Vex back. I like the shape of the gun, the sound of it. I just thought it was a fun, different weapon. I like that it was a fusion rifle, but it sat in the primary. There's a bunch of things that I liked about it. I thought it was unique, and I like things that are unique.
JJC Squirm at JJC Squirm. Should Year 2 Thorn be earned through an exotic quest like Year 1 instead of 3 of coins?
By exotic quest, you mean soul destroying, account reaping level of quest
Yes.
that requires a sacrifice of blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, I think it was one of the better quests in year 1. I know a lot of people really had a hard
Definitely.
time with it, but at least it was something you had to go through, and then at the end you got a really cool reward.
Yeah, it felt like a reward. It felt like you had gone through a path and had earned it once you had gotten it, and you maybe struggled because of the void damage type of thing in the Crucible, and you felt like, wow, I
Sucked
finally
as
got
a
this
hunter.
weapon.
Sucked as a hunter.
Definitely sucked as a hunter, yeah. I remember using like a green shotgun at one point that had void damage on it to try to just get kills that way.
I think I was using
that-
77 Wizard.
That's how I got good with.
Oh god.
That's how I originally started sniping.
That's right.
The only weapon I had was Praetor's Revenge with void damage on it. So I got good.
Nice. Ideally, though, they address the problems that exist with the Thorn in Thorn 2.0.
Yeah.
Fix them, make it a balanced weapon that has pros and cons to it, and then you don't have to provide a sacrificial bag of blood from your own body in order to obtain said exotic weapon.
I would like to see a new quest to obtain Thor 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the most talked about gun in this game, I think.
Probably
Pretty
one of the
much.
most controversial.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd love to see Thorn in Destiny too.
Maybe that and Gallahorn. Gallahorn probably tops it. But
if they changed it around and made it more reasonable, yeah.
The thing that I'm most disappointed about right now is that those quest lines from year one, you're missing out on a ton of lore about the weapon too. Like learning about Thorn, that you got this gun and you started using it, and like by the end of it, the speaker was like, "Holy crap, dude! You're starting to become corrupted by this thing. You need to cleanse yourself, before the power of this weapon, takes you over, like it did its original user." And then then you're like, "Oh, well, what's the originally?" And then you go read Grimoire cards on the toilet. But still, there was tons of stuff. I mean, you don't get that from just opening an engram anymore. So
Super Good Advice was a little bit sillier, but kind of the same kind of thing. You got to learn a little bit about the lore of Destiny, and that was a rare occurrence in Vanilla Destiny.
Yeah.
I liked it, and then it wasn't until it was a shame that Super Good Advice had to wait for so long before it became, brought
Super
up.
good?
Super good, yeah. I mean, and I don't even think it's all that super good at it still. It's just
Davy Bear at Davy of the Dead. What are each of you most excited for about the new update? I'm not sure yet. I kind of need to see next week's announcement before I can.
I need to see
question.
next week's announcement as well.
I really like that the gear customization is really getting revamped and there's a lot more to it. That's cool.
I'm honestly excited about multiple sniper rifles that have high impact. Like, really, I am. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to play Prison Elders again, and I'm hoping that it doesn't just go away after 3 weeks. But I'm excited to play it. It's interesting. When it first came out, we had Prison Elders, and then after 2 weeks, it was like Trials of Osiris, and then Trials of Osiris was the main focus for the summer for me. So I would like to have Prison Elders actually have some sort of place where I'm like excited to play it again every week. So I'm definitely excited about that. But yeah, the sandbox and Crucible thing could eclipse that and have something really amazing.
I'm excited for just straight up new armor. The Taken armor looks just cool as hell, and I some of those emotes made me laugh my ass off, and I'd like to see the rest of the emotes that are there. I'd like to see some way of expanding some machinima options with those emotes, like more. I understand that they're going after dance emotes, but it would be great for them to sell or give a machinima package, right? That it's maybe they're not rare but blue emotes that have some timing to them, and they are gestures that are like, they're just a series of gestures that you could use and utilize in machinima.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I like with the no HUD mode. That'll make machinima much better and much easier to make.
You know what I'd love? If you could hold the left diagonal pad and have a wheel of emotes to choose from.
Oh man, that's interesting.
So you hold down the D-pad.
What a divisive opinion.
And then something opens up. Maybe this HUD pops up where you could choose different things within that.
Sure. Yeah, I have never heard of that before, but I'd love to see that. Yeah.
And it would be easy as in-game doing it, right? You don't have to go to
It'd be
someplace.
like a wheel where your right stick controls the direction that you pick.
Interesting.
Maybe even it'd be nice to see some jumping jacks. Honestly,
Whoa, jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks.
Right? Wouldn't that be incredible to have jumping jacks?
Sure. And you could select that on that wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You just
Got it.
But not everybody can be a revolutionary. So
that's true.
Alvaro at Intergalactic 96. Can we just acknowledge how much better infusing is going to be after the update with 100% efficiency now? Yeah, we can acknowledge. Josh Randall at Yeshua 2K13. Now that the HUD can be removed, would you like to see new playlists in Crucible, 6v6 hardcore, 3v3 SWAT, etc.?
specifically about the HUD being removed, I'm gonna be doing some hide and seek streams.
Yes.
And okay, here we go, guys. I'm gonna be in the tower. Join up on me, and I'll count to 10, and then you gotta go hide somewhere. That'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Hide and seek in the tower sounds amazing.
Yeah. It'd be
That's
even more
awesome.
fun if we could do it in the Crucible match with a little more room to breathe.
Yeah.
Maybe set up a private match. Just invite your friends.
Ooh, a private.
Telling
match.
you.
Oh, man.
That would be so fun.
Fortune by you. Any games coming out later this year or the next that you all are really looking forward to? Dark Souls 3 is right around the corner. I'm really looking forward to that.
The game just came out today. It's called Hyper Light Drifter. It's like a top-down 16-bit homage to like Zelda in the future. That's also really difficult. It was a Kickstarter. It raised like $600,000, and it's been in development for 3 years, and it just came out today.
Is
I'm
it
very
PC
excited
only?
to play that. It's PC right now, but it's going to come out for PS4 and Xbox One, I believe.
Cool.
They haven't announced when.
It's
going to come out soon.
Old school Zelda top-down kind of thing?
Exactly, with
Cool.
like a futuristic tone in the 16-bit graphics. Very exciting. I
I'll
want to
play
play
that.
it. Yeah,
I
I'm gonna stream
am.
it soon.
I am excited to keep on streaming Paragon because I'm really fucking enjoying that. I got early access to Battleborn, and when my new PC comes in, I'll play that, stream that some. Overwatch for sure. Yeah, just kind of those three right now.
I don't really have I don't really have anything that I'm really looking forward to right now. If I have free time, it would be to spend time on the new COD Zombies map. I haven't been able to spend any time on it, and I really, really enjoy Zombies. The Call of Duty maps, this Black Ops 3 new Zombies, the maps are so much fun, and I really haven't had a whole lot of time to play with them. So I'm not really looking at new games. I still need to finish all the other games that I've purchased that I just haven't had time for. So yeah, if it was to count on something right now, it's just to go back and have the time to play things that I haven't.
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Also, April 12th is going to be awful because we get the April 12th update. Division has the update of all the incursions and drop crap with whatever's going to happen. Ratchet and Clank, Dark Souls 3.
It's a good day for gamers.
It is
It
a
really
very
is.
difficult day for gamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means your friends
I like
list is
Ratchet
gonna
and Clank
be
too, so I'm actually looking forward to that too. Those are good games.
You're going to look at your friends
They are,
list and
yeah.
you're going to just see it just all over the place.
Jeff Romaniuk at Kenora 101. Hey, Briar, do you think current engrams will decrypt into new gear like they did in December update?
No. Oh, sorry. That was Briar. You have
No,
to answer.
I have no idea.
I'm
holding
hoarding
on
a couple
to them just in case, but I doubt it.
Yeah, there's no harm in holding on to some, so I'm just doing it.
Yeah, hold on to him, but there's a 90% chance it's going to be like going from Dark Below to House of Wolves or Vanilla to Dark Below and all that, where the engrams were time stamped.
Yeah, they just
They're
give you
not
old
likely.
gear.
Yeah, they're not likely to decrypt into new gear. They're likely to decrypt into the current era
Yeah.
of gear. Meaning
so-
a next big thing or a Jabberhocky.
The co-founder at the co-founder. Where are our elemental primaries and why won't they give them back?
They were deemed to be game breaking or changing the way that the game was playing, and
I miss them.
I miss them too.
They added variety into my loadout, especially in the Nightfall. They were just cooler than the current weapons. I think there's this current set of weapons is just kind of dry. Like, it's just kind of a little on the flat side. Even the exotics. The swords were really cool. But, like, the new primaries didn't really excite me, except for Jade Rabbit, just because it's got the best name of any exotic weapon ever.
I feel you on that. Honestly, I think it's I don't know if this is the right term to say, but the attrition of the current game meaning Destiny being what it is now, having not a facelift on it, like what Destiny 2 should be. Like
Yeah.
kind of a newer experience.
When you could go into a Nightfall and like have a solar burn for the solar shielded enemies.
I agree.
And then
you know what? You're right. You're right. It felt right.
Mix it up a little bit.
It felt right to have the Neapolitan setup, right? You knowing knowing that you would be prepared for any, as a parent, I feel that. You go to the grocery store, your kids want ice cream, and you're just not sure what to get, so you get Neapolitan, and you're coming home a winner.
Give them everything. Yeah,
That's true.
you won.
You won.
You won ice cream day.
You won ice cream day. You show up with a
You
a tub of Neapolitan. All three kids are just like, woo!
I think the proper term is you year one to ice cream day.
You won ice cream.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for Twitter questions. There were a ton more, but I ran out of steam.
Yeah, this is.
I
feel like you
I
guys
think we
are too.
shot our.
No, you can stop.
I think
Our
we
bonus
shot
fire load.
all our energy out at the
Christ.
beginning.
There we go. All right, guys. That was the 64th Planet Destiny podcast. I want to thank all of you for tuning in.
Where can I talk to you on Twitter?
At Holtzman_PD. I also stream on Twitch, which is Holtzman,
With one N or two N's?
2 N's.
There it is.
All right, I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit. You can find me on YouTube on the Briar Rabbit channel. You can find me on Twitch, either streaming for Planet Destiny right here or streaming on my own channel, which, oddly enough, is called Briar Rabbit. Also, I got a new Discord server. That's pretty fun, so check that out, too.
Awesome. I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. You can catch the streams I do for Planet Destiny. Usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday nights. If my internet is good, that's going to get fixed pretty soon because move is going to happen pretty soon. And also my personal channel, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Yeah.
And this has been Pope Bear. Obviously, you can capture me out on the Twitter universe at Pope Bear, and I stream for Planet Destiny occasionally at our twitch.tv/planet_destiny.
What's your Tinder, Pope?
Tinder.
Boner Spider.
Pope, yeah, it's coconut
Spider.
Coconut spider. Coconut crab.
Boner Spider. Oh my god. Best username ever.